I don't even have my microphone on, but we are back on the podcast. I'm just talking. We're just recording the Skype call.
Bro, it's episode 51, Quarantine Chronicles. We're back. We had the best podcast of the 50 episodes yesterday. Go check it out. We got Ravi, we got Luke. It was so good. We got the Lukester back on. Since we had him in the first time ever with a co-host, I guess we need him solo style. So here he is, episode 50, back to back. First time ever.
It's been a while.
So nice. They had to bring me back twice. How you doing?
Exactly.
So Luke said he has a 5-10 minute story to tell. So let's start that off.
No problem. No, we're trying to come up with things to talk about. I guess this is a me episode, an expose or a biography or a deposition. But either way, I want to talk about No Way Out 04, which was my first.
Oh, dude!
Not only my first WWE show ever, but it was my first wrestling show ever.
That's like one of the biggest, like, top wrestling memories ever because of Eddie.
And it was a total fluke that I even went. So my family and I lived in San Francisco for about a year and then didn't work out so well. So we left our shit in storage and came back down to Southern California. But then it just so happened when we went to go back for our shit, it happened to be the weekend of No Way Out. And I figured this out and I begged my mom for tickets and she left it up to my grandfather, who's a cheapskate. So we got cheap seats. But either way,
this is your start of you sitting in the lights, then. So
yeah,
That's at a young age.
And then I didn't go to a show. Oh no, never mind. I went to a house show after this. But so yeah, he got us the cheapest seats. I begged him to stop and get us a camera, like it would have made a difference, like a disposable camera. I just wanted a memory of it, but all I have from it is a ticket stub, unfortunately. Oh no, I did bring two signs. One that said 619, and then on the back it said APA.
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 But yeah, they were still together for about a couple more months or whatever. But anyway, so we don't know protocol or anything like that. We've never been to a show. We get there, and if you read about this in the sheets, you'll know if you pull up this issue. The fucking line, it was like WrestleMania 32. You just could not get into the show on time. So we heard the pyro go off, waiting in line outside in the parking lot. And I was just devastated that I was missing the show. And we walked in on Jamie Noble and Nydia having a blindfold match. So technically the first ever piece of wrestling I ever saw live was that.
Wow.
So, okay. I always ask this. Well, not always ask this, but I always ask this people in real life. The first time walking in, when you see the ring, smaller than you think, right?
Well, here's the thing. It was just, I don't know. I can't really describe it. We were on the floor looking for our seats. My grandfather had no idea that we were all the way the fuck up in the, it's not a big place, but when you're a kid, it's huge.
Yeah.
No, when I'm just looking at Jamie Noble and Nydia and I'm like, oh my God, it's like fucking 3D. Like they're here in front of my face. I can't describe it. It was, I guess, for lack of a better word, magical. But no, I don't recall thinking the ring was that small, but it was just cool to see everything up close and in color. Then we got to our seats in time for Haas and Benjamin versus APA, and we pretty much saw everything from there. But
you got your sign up?
Yeah, no, when I got up there, I quickly realized that it was not. I drew the sign in like a Sharpie, just like a thin line Sharpie. So even if I was front row, I don't think anyone could make it out.
So how old are you for this?
I was 12 years old. And I guess everyone wants to get to the good part. So when Eddie came out, I couldn't see him till he came out on the lowrider on the right side of the stage. I couldn't see him until he got on the ramp because all the fans were like on the guardrail and leaning over and looking at him and touching him. So I'm like, where's Eddie? Where's Eddie? And then he came onto the ramp and I was just like, oh my God, like there he is. There's Eddie Guerrero. And before that, though, Goldberg interfered in. I think he interfered in this match, didn't he? Or what did he do?
Yeah, he was ringside.
He was ringside. That's right. I remember seeing Goldberg come through the crowd. That was a dream come true to see him live. I thought for sure Steve Austin was going to show up because he gave Goldberg the ticket to show up there, kayfabe wise, storyline wise. I was begging for Austin to come out, and he never did. But it was cool to see Goldberg. And anyway, and throughout the show, before that, though, there was a triple threat match with Kurt, Cena, and Big Show, which is regarded as at least probably top 20 or 30 triple threat pay-per-view matches of all time for WWE. It was, I don't know, it was up in the, I don't know, you find it on a list somewhere.
But, as I was going to say, it's a very broad list.
I love how he goes top and then he goes 20 or 30.
20 or 30.
Well, because I don't want to put it up there really high, but I can see if you did a top triple threat matches of all time, it'd be up there.
Okay.
Wouldn't it be?
I don't know.
I think so. I don't remember that match.
It'd probably be in the top 15.
Oh, okay. But anyway, so back to the main event.
What is happening?
Nothing. I just thought of something. Go ahead, Luke.
Back to the main event. What were we talking about again?
What is happening? Why have we got...
we got a run-in on the podcast. The worst podcast I've ever heard is back. And that's on camera, too. That's not just something that's going to show up.
Did you just kick him in and out of the call?
That's going to be, what's it called? That's going to be on the video, too, by the way.
What is this motherfucker doing? Squat? See, Luke can't even get his own stage time without Mike, like, there's like a run-in.
What is the guitar on the wall?
All right, that's enough of that.
You were saying? You were saying? Before I was rudely interrupted.
Fire rises!
Pick him out of the call. All right, go ahead.
So, I remember my grandfather getting, he was jumping for the pyro. I remember for Big Show's pyro, he like, what's that?
Broke his hip.
My grandfather was falling asleep watching the Big Show, but his pyro woke his ass up pretty quick. And I'm trying to just pull out every memory I have from the show, so excuse me if I'm all over the place.
That's fine.
Okay, but back to the main event.
16 years ago.
What's that?
The show was only 16 years ago.
Yeah, I wanted to do something for the 15th anniversary, like talk about my entire experience somewhere, but I'm glad I get to do it here for 16 years and change. But anyway, the main event, again, I'll stop saying that. One thing I'm really proud of is that Eddie Guerrero did the frog splash off of our corner of the arena where we sat. So I always remember that.
You like hand and give him your strength as he was in that frog splash.
I remember telling that to Ravi. He was like, "Oh, shut up!" I'm like, "I'm flying. I was up there." But yeah, when Eddie won the title, this is the most devastating part of the show, other than missing Tori and Sable and Rikishi and Scotty versus the Bashams, and Sunday Night Heat. The second Eddie won the title, my grandpa said, "Let's go."
Wow.
And I didn't get to see Eddie. I got to see Eddie jump in the crowd, and then I just remember walking through the concourse. We were the only ones. He wanted to beat traffic. He's an old man,
Of course.
And he's still around. God bless him. But
Get him on the show next time.
The time you made us leave the show early.
I gave him shit for it a year later, but I just remember walking through the concourse really fast, and Eddie Guerrero's music was ringing throughout. And the only way I can describe it was that scene in Polar Express when the kids ditch the train when they're walking around the North Pole, and that eerie music is playing throughout the North Pole, and it's echoing because everyone's at the town hall.
Yeah.
And they're the only ones walking around with that. So it was like, I don't know. That's just what it made me think.
What a reference. My God, that was incredible.
So my bad. Sorry, your first ever show. You see your first WWE Championship.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that till you said so. But Eddie was. I went to a house show in Palm Springs, California, in May of '04. Eddie was still champion, and I think did he lose the title at Judgment Day '04 or retain it?
I don't remember.
Because I remember saying no. He was definitely the champion because they said he couldn't show up due to injuries.
Wow.
So I was fucking pissed because I had like 4th or 5th row. I could have seen Eddie really up close with the WWE title. But unfortunately, No Way Out 04 was the first and only time I got to see Eddie. And Benoit was kind of the same thing. There was a house show near me in August of '04 when he was world champ, and that was the only opportunity I had to see him. I never got to see Benoit live, but Eddie I'm thankful for, and I had no idea it was going to be such a historic moment. I'm thank my fucking lucky stars that I was there, and I'm the only one I've ever known that was there. It was me and like 7,000 other people in the world, so it's a pretty cool thing to be a part of.
Especially because, like, I mean, you said that you don't have anything like from that show except the ticket, but I mean, that story is just like, just the fact that you happened to be there and you happened to, like witness that moment, and then, your grandpa just like, all right, time to go. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like the story is like, worth not getting like, I don't know, like a random T-shirt or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, considering it wasn't supposed to happen, it was a total fluke, and it was like destiny, I guess you can say, as far as timing goes. I'm glad I got that even.
Yeah.
So believe me, like beggars can't be choosers, and I was begging to go to that show, and so
that's crazy. I just remember like going to like an FYE and then like seeing that like cover, like the DVD cover with Eddie on the front and like the white background. And like I remember you saying that was the first event you went to, so I was like, oh, okay, like I'm gonna buy this thing because this is Luke's first event and I don't have this DVD. And like I think I tweeted at you and I was like, hey Luke, look what I found for like $4. Like that was.
I'm glad I wasn't one of those, like, I guess because we were so young, I wasn't like dirt sheet guy, because I feel like we would have known Brock was leaving and Eddie was gonna win the title around that time.
Bias is here. Sorry, what?
I was saying I'm glad we were younger when that happened, because like I feel like if we like read dirt sheets or whatever, we would know Eddie was probably winning because Brock was leaving, and it was going to be like a thing.
Oh yeah, I think I knew. I mean, I wasn't smart then, but I think we all pretty much knew that he was going to win.
Really? I didn't know at all. I remember going to WWE.com like the morning because I didn't watch the pay-per-view, and I was like, "What the hell? Eddie Guerrero won the title."
Even like a fucking Mark who's not smart to anything. Like if you follow along with the storyline, him like the adversity he went through and the uphill battle towards that title, and it felt like it was time. Even as a kid, I felt like it was coming. So, but
that's crazy. What's like, so obviously that being your first like moment that you witnessed, what was like your favorite, like one of your favorite moments that you always think of, like in your entire life?
Eddie winning the title will always be number one as far as favorite live event moments. That'll never be topped. But number two would probably be, I'm going to do top three. Fuck it. Number two is Shawn and Taker, Shawn's last match in the U.S. And then 3, Rock and Cena live at 28.
I like how you said Shawn's last match in the U.S. Like,
I got to clarify because someone's going to fucking...
Oh, dude, but that didn't happen. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it happened, but it didn't happen.
It
didn't happen. Yeah. Yeah. It didn't happen.
Well, someone's going to correct me, so.
Welcome back to the worst podcast I've ever heard.
Oh,
I'm your host.
Hey, I like to give a cheap plug. Do we know that? Yeah, it's called Huge Pop. That's the name of our new podcast that we're starting, so I thought I'd plug that while I'm on.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good.
Right.
And,
what channel is it on?
We don't know yet.
All right. Don't worry. I'll retweet you out and repost everything.
This is going to be the first test of if video will work in the middle of recording. Because if it does, it's
is that your Diesel back there and your Sean? Or 1-3 Kid and Diesel?
That's right.
Wardlow. What a moment.
What was I going to say? Okay, Luke. You've had many YouTube names. Luke Cara, Luke Cara.
It'll never be Cara. It is Cara for the record.
Rage Cage, Luke Cage. I discovered you in 2010 along with Miguel and Steve. What was the origin of starting YouTube videos for you?
Well, I was watching from 07 to 09, and basically it all came down to my mom got a Sony CyberShot digital camera for Christmas of 09, and well, it was a little before Christmas, but it was for the holidays. And so I opened it and I was like, hey, I could make YouTube videos with this, because I had just been commenting and watching guys like Jem and, really old school guys like Monoxide and Mark Pearson and Sarcastic Venom and
Mark Pearson. I remember that guy. That was like the British guy, right?
Mark Pierce, yeah. Like this was really, I mean, Spinnernet was on there. TJ, what was it? Y2 Indian. Well, anyway, and Jem, yeah, did I mention Jem? But so I was like, hey, I can do this, and I had no one to talk to wrestling about in my real life, and that's how we communicated back then before Twitter got hot. Was making YouTube videos about wrestling, and I firmly believe Twitter killed YouTube, but that's another discussion for another day. So I just started. My first ever video was a video response about TNA to GJ Mix 617. I have no idea what it was about. I just know it was a video response. Remember those? Yeah. Shut up. But and then as far as the name goes, I was and still am a huge Nicolas Cage fan. So I wanted Cage in there, and I was like, okay, what rhymes with that? So Rage came out of that, but then I got sick of that, and I'm like, I want people to call me by my name, so I just put Luke Cage, and then I realized, oh shit, that's a superhero. And you want to tie this all together? It so happens that Nicolas Cage's favorite superhero is Luke Cage, which is his last
pretty
name.
crazy. And you had that Twitter handle at Luke Cage, and what happened?
I did, and fucking Netflix took it from me. I had it on. I had switched over my account to Luke Cara, and I kept Luke Cage. Mike heard you. I kept Luke Cage for a rainy day because I had heard this. You got a minute? I had heard this story about Rob Deerdeck. He wanted he tweeted at Rob, and he said, "I'll give you $30,000 for that username," and the guy said no. So I said, you know what? Marvel's going to come knocking for this name one day. I'm going to get a nice payday.
They broke that door down.
So how did they steal it from you if you owned it? Like you get your username on there.
Thank you, Jeff. I was inactive for 3 months, but I think Twitter said, fuck it, it's inactive for 3 months. You can have it. So they took it, and I was pretty upset about it because I was hoping for a nice little payout.
Message them back, be like, hey, why'd you steal my Twitter?
What the fuck? They're not going to...
I would have tried.
No, but I was thinking, you know what? Like, they probably would have just gone with at Luke Cage Netflix or something.
Maybe think about all the tweets you would have got.
You regret never. You should have just left that name forever.
Yeah, I mean, well, I was getting hit up from people. Like one dude tweeted me. You can still find this. He was like, "Dude, can you tweet my friend and say this to him?" Like. He just got a kick out of the fact that like at Luke Cage was going to tweet his friend or whatever. I don't know.
Heck, that's
and
weird.
Ultimate Warrior tweeted me from that account or to that account as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a lot of history there.
Did you change accounts or did you just change names? Because if you changed account, what?
No, I made a new account.
Oh.
And then I quickly let go of the Luke Cage name, and then. I can't even really describe.
So you still have like the account that you're posting on now is the same that it's been the whole time, just different name.
Well, no, the Twitter account I have now was at Luke Cage, but I switched my name.
So if you search like that tweet from Ultimate Warrior, it'll now show that he tweeted to you.
Yeah, you'll see it goes to Luke Cara. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you get that cleared up. Shut up, Ryan. So yeah, I mean. Yeah, you get that cleared up, and because that'd be cool to look back on it. Yeah, look at what's it called, whatever it was, Ultimate Warrior tweeted.
And that's how like I can get away with like people believing me. It's like, oh, you don't believe me? Go look. Like it links right to my fucking account. So
I'm glad they changed that, but
and really quick, I did have this was suggested by a blog TV user. It may have been Dylan King. Hi Dylan, if you're listening.
That's what's his name? What's his gimmick name now? Casey King.
Yeah, Casey
Wrestler.
King. He suggested Nation of Cage 29.
Oh, jeez.
Because I was doing a Nation of Domination gimmick. I was ripping off Gemini where I would just randomly play the Nation theme in a blog TV call. And they're like, dude, you should name it Nation of Cage 29. And it lasted like a month or two. So that's the name.
And then you went to your actual name.
Yeah.
You want to explain how to pronounce it for the people on the back?
Oh, it's definitely Cara, like Caravan, or there's it's kind of a girl's name, Cara with a K or whatever. I knew a girl named Cara in my communications class. We're going off topic. We don't need to.
It's all good. I mean, I feel like this derailed 8 minutes in because of reasons, but yeah, I mean, it's a good. I think this was a fun talk, and obviously, like you'll be back on, and we'll be on. Already? We're not killing it off. I'm just continuing the conversation.
Oh, okay. I was gonna ask Luke about how like the hot question. How did the main trip start for you? Like, why'd you go to 26?
That's what I was gonna ask him. Look at that. Okay. We're like,
Hey, he's gonna show something that.
Look at us, Mike. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I mean, who would have thought we'd be all here right now, all together, all of us.
All four of us.
Yeah. You were saying.
Okay, WrestleMania 26. So that was the closest one to me since 21, and it crushed me that I couldn't go to 21. What the fuck is so funny?
You sounded like a robot saying that.
Why? Okay, so I missed out on Mania 21 in LA, and I was crushed because I lived in Southern California at the time. And then Phoenix was next. So I was like, okay, it's the next state over. I am definitely going to that. And then Miguel said he was going. I had met Miguel the month before this fucking show. And we actually, we befriended each other in like February 2010 or whatever. And I found out he was going, and we hung out. We met Roddy Piper together, and we drove to the arena together. You better fucking stop. I got some of the footage on video. And what's the question again?
the WrestleMania 26 trip start. That was your first Mania.
It was really tough. I took a Greyhound bus to get there, and I stayed in a hotel and dined on granola bars and Domino's pizza. And it was rough because I was my first time doing it. I got a Hall of Fame ticket, an access ticket, a Mania ticket, and I was gonna go home during Raw.
Who was the main eventer for the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it wasn't a great Hall of Fame.
Who was the main eventer?
Ted DiBiase, but
wow,
Ted DiBiase, my God, okay.
Class.
It was your first Mania.
It was my first Mania, yeah. But
I go to Hall of Fame.
It was not. Access was cool. It was way more laid back then.
Mm-hmm.
Not as busy. But it sucks because I missed my bus Monday morning to go home, and I ended up watching Sean retire in my hotel or my motel. Miguel was there, but I didn't have a ticket to go, so I'm just sitting there in the town where he's retiring, just going fuck. But no, it was a fun experience. I'll never forget it. Anytime I hear that I Made It song, it brings back old fuzzy memories.
Oh yeah.
And you had Brett, Sean, and Taker on the same card, which is, I mean, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. Who can say they've been to a show with those three men on it? So that was cool. But I don't know.
How sad when you watch Brett and Vince live?
I was just happy to see Brett. I wasn't expecting a spectacle. It was, I don't know. I actually watched it again a couple months ago, and it, yeah. At least Brett, I saw him at SummerSlam 2010 live, and he pulled out a few moves there, and he shocked the hell out of everybody. Jumped off the second turnbuckle and did the elbow gimmick and all that. But what was I saying? No, it was sad when Sean lost. We all knew it was his last match, but it was still this kind of kick in the balls moment. He's my favorite of all time, so that was sad. But overall, man, a great Mania. It's considered like the second best Mania of the last of that decade, right? Behind 31.
Second best.
I always heard 31 was the best of the 2010s, and then 26 was number 2.
I don't know.
I'd have to agree. Like,
but you were
interchangeable. It could be interchangeable.
Watched 31 and it was like, okay, it was great, but like, I don't know. Kind of hard for this decade to choose, I feel like.
Well, now that we're on this topic.
33 was pretty good.
Yeah, I'd say that's third place for me. And what's the worst one of the decade?
Oh, it's either 32 or 27.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like, I feel like 32 wins it for the overhypeness of the show, but like 27 has the worst one of the worst WrestleMania main events ever.
Yeah.
Like double DQ. I don't know about that one.
I don't know, man. It's up for debate. God, I went to fucking 8 of those. 8 out of the 10 Manias of the last decade. Fuck. I just missed 29 and 30.
But you missed the GOAT one. You missed 30.
You know what? I still feel some kind of way when you guys bring up 30 being the greatest trip of all time. It still stings a little.
We had 31. It was better. Justin
What?
let know he wasn't there.
We're gonna have like a documentary series of WrestleMania 30 soon.
Oh yeah, who's gonna make it?
We got 27 and we never even were there. We still gotta talk about 28 soon.
Well, I mean, did you run into a crazy McDonald's guy? I don't think so.
I don't know, but I was on Bourbon Street and I don't know, stuff
drunk
going
on
wild.
Bourbon Street?
Huh?
Getting drunk on Bourbon Street?
I wasn't, but I saw everyone else did.
It's not what I heard.
That's recollection.
It's not what I heard.
Anyways.
So yeah. Huge pop podcast coming soon. Right?
Shut up,
Sorry.
Sorry. Interrupted.
I think they're doing together. Anyways, that's the end of the podcast today. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you give a thumbs up and a comment.
Yeah, and we'll be cutting our podcast right now, which is why where I'm going to go right now.
I was just plugging. I said, so huge pop podcast coming soon, right?
The huge pop podcast.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I better hurry up and steal that name because it was really good.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm just gonna watch Ryan do that for 10 seconds.
He's jazzercising. I don't know. But all right, gentlemen, and viewers at home.
All right. Well, we'll talk to you again after a while.
Bye.
Thank you for having me on. That was fun.